Cameron Calderon. Welcome to Heart of the City.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Listen.
How's it feel being on this side?
Feels good. Feels strange. I like being in front of the camera though. But
Nice.
No, it feels good. The pleasure's mine. So
Good. Yeah, of course. I'm so excited to chat with the man behind the camera of Heart of the City and 618 Productions and all the things.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
So master cinematographer wasn't always your title and calling. Tell us like where you started in life and your career and how you got here.
Yeah. So I didn't know about any sort of camera work until maybe about 4 years ago. I went to college as a software engineer, worked for the DoD as a software engineer for a year and a half, 2 years out of college. Was a meathead gym rat with some buddies, and they were like, "Hey, my girlfriend's got a camera. Can you take some pictures of me in the gym?" And I was like, "Sure." Didn't know what I was doing. Never picked up a camera in my life. I don't know settings. I don't know nothing. And took some pictures of friends, and it was off to the races from there. I kind of liked it. Didn't know if I liked it. I was doing it more as like I have to do it with my friends, and I got into it and slowly got into a little bit of video for them as well. And then my friends were like, "This is actually really good." And mind you, it's all like just gym bro stuff.
But content you were passionate about.
At the time, yes, for sure. At the time, because now I'm...
And like, how did you even switch to teaching yourself video? Like you just started tinkering? Were you watching YouTube? Like,
I think that's just the mindset of solving a problem and wanting to get better at something. Engineering definitely helped with that. I tell people that like I pay homage to that engineering because it taught me how to Google something, right? It taught me how to just solve a problem.
Totally.
And I mean, to solve a problem, you have to be intrigued to learn about it, right? And so, but that came after because naturally it was good enough where like, kind of having the music background and scores from movies and stuff. I ended up throwing these videos together with my friends, and they're like, this is really cool. And I'm like, is it? And this and that. They're like, you should just like do this for people. And I'm like, I already have a job that selfishly does pay well in engineering. Like why would I do that? And got more into it, used that as a little fuel for the ego, and was like, this is good. And ended up at the time, single, making decent money, and I bought a camera. I didn't use the girlfriend's camera or the friend's girlfriend's camera. And so bought a camera. And
what was your first camera?
It was the Sony a7 III. It was a older camera that, and got better at it, learned some more things. And while I had my job, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say screw it and ask some people in the gym. And so in the gym world, there's like fitness, bodybuilding, and stuff like that. And we were big into it at the time. And there were some relatively big-sized people in Tampa in the gym. And so being somewhat personable, I'd go up to them and be like, hey, I'd love to grab some pictures of you. I'm a photographer. And and at the time, I'm like, no, I'm not. I've been doing this for my friends. And took some. They loved it.
Wow.
And they said, do you do YouTube? And I'm like, of course I do. I didn't do YouTube. And and so at that point, I'm like, wait. And so I texted that same guy, the bigger name person later, and he was like arguably one of the biggest at the time in the field.
Wow.
So like I was like, this is an opportunity, golden opportunity. And so he kind of told me, he's like, hey, I can pay this much a month. And I'm like, really?
You're like, well, that's not quite gonna cut it, but okay.
Right. He's like, I could do like, a session like $500 a video or whatever. And I'm like thinking like, that's like $2,000 a month, like maybe some extra cash or whatever. I worked from home. So it was like, I could figure this out. And then started thinking a little bit like a businessman and making some extra money. And I'm like, okay, now I got to learn YouTube. Now I got to get better at video, blah, 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 blah. So it like a domino effect after that. And 6 months later, I quit my job.
As you may know, I am the owner and editor of the Scout Guide Chattanooga, and one of my favorite parts of publishing the guide is getting to discover the incredible local businesses that more people deserve to know about. As we're wrapping up scouting for our next edition, we have just a handful of placements left, and I want to ask for your help. Who is a business in Chattanooga that consistently goes above and beyond? Maybe it's a boutique you can't stop recommending, or a restaurant you take every out-of-towner to. a designer, wellness provider, home expert, or creative entrepreneur who does exceptional work and has built something really special. The Scout Guide has always been about celebrating the people and businesses that make our city unique. Not necessarily the biggest names, but the ones creating remarkable experiences and serving our community with excellence. So, if someone immediately comes to mind, email us at chattanooga@thescoutguide.com or send us a message on Instagram. We'd love to learn more about them before we finalize this next volume. And if you've ever wondered whether your business might be a good fit for the Scout Guide, this is the perfect time to reach out. I'd love to have that conversation. We can't wait to see your recommendations.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Cameron.
whole identity crisis. Yeah, I hated it.
Wow.
I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know whether I should take the leap. I didn't know if I should take the leap. I mean, I have to get more clients and all this and that.
Oh my gosh. So how many clients did you have when you quit?
One. I just had him.
You just had him.
I just had him, and it paid for my rent and like it paid for my stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I ended up having him as a client, and then I ended up like small odd jobs freelancing. And then I went to the Super Bowl of Fitness that same year. So there was a bunch of good connects in Tampa that I was like, hey, I do this work. This is my work. And they're like, yeah, you can come with me.
Nice.
To like the big event in fitness. And so I went and and then I just was, this is all I do now. So I have to kind of do it.
You got to put yourself out there.
I put my back against the wall kind of on it and was like, it's all, I just got to do it. And so ended up being a freelancer for like another year and a half, give or take. And then started really getting into the business mind of it.
Wow.
At that same time, totally hated fitness at this point.
Oh, you got burnt out.
In terms of the actual bodybuilding field. Like I hated it. I hated shooting it. And like I hated it because it was so monotonous and all the things. And I'm like, I don't mind fitness. I don't mind like fitness brands, clothing, drink brands. I don't mind that. But I want to take the cinematography storytelling to a bigger level. So I got to learn more. You know, you watch commercials, you watch stuff on Instagram, you're like, I want to be this, like this, and get out of the videography space. I want to get more into like the art of it. Yeah. The art and skill of it. And so yeah, a year and a half into the freelancing, I started the production company. And that was summer 2024. I started 618.
Still just operating in Tampa.
At the same time just operating in Tampa. I just started the business and thought, and then nothing really changed. I was just like, I'm opening myself up to more from a production sense, commercial sense.
So did you like file an LLC?
All the things. All the things. So I'm not marketing myself as a freelancer anymore.
Gotcha.
I'm marketing it as a broader thing, with the whole goal to expand and whatever. And so then I really had to balance trying to be a businessman and a freelancer. Yeah. I had to balance it. I had to be like, and still learning my craft. Yeah. I mean, learning my craft, which at the time is just creativity and camera skills, right? Lighting skills, stuff like that. While learning that, I also had to know like business operations. Right. And like, what's the best way to market myself?
And how to hire and how to manage people.
Oh my Lord. Right. And so learning both of those in tandem, I'd bootstrap the whole damn business. Yeah. And just learned it as I go. Wow. And now fast forward, 2026 summer, it's 2 years after I opened the business. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's insane. Okay, so what was your biggest project once you opened 618 that really like solidified your decision to go beyond just a freelancer? Like what's been like that job as a production company that really has been like, wow, I can grow this?
So you're saying when I opened the production company?
Well, I mean, I guess, or just before, but I would think as 618, you've probably taken on bigger work than you did when you were just solo freelancer.
Correct. But right, that's a very good question. So the whole point and thought about starting the production company was being hired on big jobs as a freelancer and thought I could run this, right? And thought I could run this at a scale much smaller with the same quality. Because, the whole unionized thing where people will hire a company or an agency to fulfill a need like a commercial for tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm over here thinking, we don't need 10 people here looking around, right? Like, I think we really need a couple solid MFers that know what they're doing. Yeah. And I think it's a knowledge thing and less about like a bodies thing. Yeah. And so that was what I wanted to pitch to the masses as a production company. I wanted to do that to the the 6-7 figure business instead of the 9-10 figure businesses, right? People that can afford.
Makes you more accessible.
Yeah. People that don't have zero budget, but they don't have unlimited budget. Like the middleman, and still get that commercial quality.
True.
And so to answer your question, I did a shoot with Shannon Sharp. He's a sports commentator. It was out in LA, and I got hired as the DP. I got hired as the shooter. And as I was getting hired as the shooter, I was being asked production company questions like, hey, do you know anyone out there that does this? Do you know anyone out there that does this? I'm like, I'm essentially just being
Giving
the production
away.
company here.
Yes.
I'm essentially producing this. I'm hiring the editor. I'm hiring the gaffer. I'm hiring everyone that's involved to make this happen. And the budget they had was outrageous,
Wow.
expensive. And I'm like, I get it. Yeah, like it's a lot and it's great. And it didn't, I didn't profit all of it. I was actually only paid as the DP. And so I'm like, a production company's going to make so much fucking money out of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it doesn't need to be this much. And I'm like, I can give this quality on this commercial to someone else for literally a fifth or a tenth of the cost. When all it takes is just some skill and a nice Rolodex of people that you know.
Yeah.
And so, because some people truly are and they don't care and they love the freelancer, like this is my day rate, and they run with it and they like it and they like that method.
Yeah.
And from a company standpoint, I'm like, hey, I can bring you the same quality for a lot cheaper price and still take a good overhead from a production company. I just don't think you need as many people. Consolidate that knowledge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's also just your entrepreneurial spirit too.
Sure,
Yeah.
right. And it's just thinking about like, how can I bring this to the masses that's attractive? And so yeah, that was the one shoot that really kind of
Eye opened.
I opened that like, hey, this is it. And then so yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Siskin Children's Institute, and you're invited to one of Chattanooga's most meaningful nights of the year. Join Siskin on Saturday, August 15 for Star Night 2026, an unforgettable evening of Western glam filled with incredible food, live entertainment, exciting auctions, and powerful stories of hope. Every ticket, sponsorship, and donation helps provide life-changing therapies, diagnostic services, and support for children with special needs and their families right here in our community. Join me and my table as we pull on our boots, dress to impress, and be part of a night where grit, grace, and giving come together. Learn more and reserve your spot today at siskin.org/starnight.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I think what's cool about, I mean, you keep saying like I could bring this to the masses, but I think what you've also done is because you can be at kind of more that middle ground price point and offering, you make yourself accessible to way more interesting brands and companies. You know, it's not just like these big names that already have it like very buttoned up and all the creatives handled, like you're just coming in and executing. Like you get to be so involved in like the creation of something and like really, and I think that is where a lot of your skills shine. And so I think that's also been a good spot and like range for you to be in, because you bring a lot more to the table than just being able to like execute a camera.
Right.
And like, you know, instruct other people on set to like execute whatever they're doing. Like
100%.
You really are good at like crafting the story and like bringing the creative to the table.
Yes, creative direction and content systems. And that's a big thing. Like I don't want to be just a hired gun, or B, a guy that hires hired guns. Right? It's like I don't want to be just that, but like I can bring a level of, like I said, that creative direction and content systems to the specific field you're in. To piggyback off that is bring that to areas that don't have it.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing too. The hardest part was getting in, but then once you're in, everyone in that certain field is seeing this person.
Totally.
So for instance, American manufacturing, hospitality, hospitals, like stuff like that.
Medical,
Medical. I mean, all the really good creative work out there is either with CPG brands, direct to consumer brands, right? They're with, clothing, fashion, food and like packaged foods and stuff like that. Like those brands have like a lot of good creative work, but not the not the construction company.
Right.
Right. You know, they don't, but why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Why not? Like
They still have a story. Yeah.
creativity and good cinematography is a medium for all industries. All industries. Everyone loves a good movie, right? And so, yes, we're not making movies, but all walks of life and people that have different subjective opinions, all types of people like a good movie. And so I like to kind of correlate that the same way. Everyone likes a good piece of social content.
Yeah.
Everyone likes a good
Yeah.
testimonial. Everyone likes a good quality piece of work.
Totally.
Whether that's
I love
from
that.
a visual standpoint, whether that's from a story-driven standpoint, whether that's from an entertainment fun reel.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
so that's how I have to kind of, like, I'm not trying to sell you a visually like a crazy good creative commercial.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the good constant is good visuals, good creative direction, and a system that works within your field and company,
Yeah.
given your audience and goals.
Yeah.
And like, my whole thing was wanting to try and target the people that don't have it,
Yeah.
or the businesses that don't have it, because I want to open their eyes to that. Hey, you could use it.
Yeah. You need this too.
G-
Yeah.
Given what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being
love
like,
it.
hey, like, if your argument is, well, no one in our field does this because no one cares, I'll argue against that.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you broke out from Tampa. You moved here personally at first, and then you're like, oh, okay, Chattanooga, cool place. I could be getting some work. And, so like, what have you experienced, challenges or otherwise, like good things, like breaking out of the place where you grew up and already had the connections? Like, what has that looked like trying to infiltrate an area that maybe you didn't have as many connections in?
If your yard is looking a little tired in this Tennessee heat, don't give up on it just yet. A quick trip to the barn nursery can bring it back to life. Right now is a great time to plant heat-loving favorites like lantana, coneflowers, butterfly bush, and zinnias, plants that thrive through our hottest summer days with the right care. The knowledgeable and sweet team at the barn nursery can help you choose the perfect plants for your space and show you how to keep them flourishing all season long. Visit the Barn Nursery in Chattanooga and go play in the yard.
Generally making the connections is always hard. I mean, putting yourself in a position to meet new people, I think that's generally difficult. If you're not naturally that way. I'm an introverted extrovert, right? It's like, I like to be alone, but if I'm put in a scenario, I can talk, kind of thing. And so I knew that was what was needed to expand. Subjectively, the biggest thing was, if I'm in one area or one location, I'm marketing the company in one location as of right now, and everyone wants to hire me. And so when you put yourself in a different location, you're not always in the other location. And so scheduling with people was difficult for me. And then the whole learning curve of getting them on board that, hey, you're hiring a company, not me. You're hiring. So, and then I had to think about, okay, if I'm in, and it doesn't have to be necessarily Chattanooga or Tampa, it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's say I got a client in New York and
Yeah.
and I wanted to be on a shoot in New York, or I'm in Tampa and New York's client wants a shoot, right? It's the same thing as, like, you're going to get your content system and your commercial, your content piece, whatever it is, you're going to get that from 618, not Cameron. And like, that's something that you have to grow into, though, because you obviously have to get those clients yourself.
Totally.
And you have to be on them yourself, but you have to kind of instill that from the get. And so again, I think the business is still in that growing phase. It's going great, but I know confidently that if I want to grow, there's going to be a time where it does turn. And what I mean by that is, people are going to hire 618 for me. I have to understand that. There may get to a point where it is big enough where they will just see it and they won't hire it for me. They're hiring it for 618. Maybe, maybe not, but it's going to take a while. People are going to hire 618 for me. So what does that mean? I have to put myself in these physical locations and make these connections with these people. It doesn't necessarily have to be in person, but virtually, at least to make a good connection.
Yeah, earn their trust.
And to know that, hey, like, people will hire a company if they relate and they like the owner of the company. And then at that point, they have your trust and
Yeah.
they don't really care who you put on it.
Yeah.
You know, they know that you're running the show, and they know that, like, hey, my word goes in this field. You hired me to fulfill a need.
Yeah.
You're under a contract, whatever. Like, I'm still going to get you what you need. Doesn't have to be me, but that's a good thing. So I've come to terms with that.
Yeah.
That, like, hey, if I want to grow a market in Charlotte, North Carolina, I have to put myself there often enough to meet people. Whether it's make a connection in person, whether it's make a connection virtually, have a shoot there, and maybe stay in the city for 2 or 3 days to get some coffee with some people. Like, I know I have to do that in these bigger cities, and so it's worked. I mean, it really has. You know, Chattanooga, Nashville, Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, Tampa. Like, that was kind of the goal initially. That's working out now. Pace is subjective, but you know, the Southeast, right, is like, that's kind of the whole goal, is to have the whole goal is to have those types of businesses in the major metropolitan areas in the Southeast. That's kind of the short-term 3, 4, 5-year goal.
Nice.
Is like to have a few good solid businesses in Charlotte, Atlanta, Chattanooga, Nashville, Birmingham, right? Orlando, Tampa, Miami, right? Just kind of spread out, right? And
That's awesome.
And then ultimately, knowingly that I cannot literally be everywhere at once, is to have people that I trust be like a project manager, right? They oversee your region,
For
right?
sure.
They oversee a region from a quality control standpoint. They're full-time employees of mine. So, like, they oversee it. I obviously greenlight from a very, very high level. And then I still, you know, we still hire shooters locally to fulfill a need, but that's going to be a representation of 618.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, we're there now. Like, you've sent other shooters to projects I've hired you for, and it goes great. You know, I still get the quality of Cameron's work, and, you know, and it wasn't necessarily that I was expecting or needing you physically to be there. I know that the outcome is going to be 618 quality.
For sure.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback on that quickly further, is maybe to give a little insight on how hiring a subcontractor or putting an employee on a job from a production company looks like. I will have my employees say, hey, on this date, you have this shoot. Here is your briefing. This is what you have to shoot. This is how you shoot it. Here is some inspo on the shooting.
Right.
Right? Use this type of lens. It will be in a low light setting. I'm thinking the Scout Guide a launch party. It's a low light setting. Capture faces, go wide enough to capture the space. So there's briefing involved.
Correct.
So there's oversight involved.
Right.
At this point, they really are hired guns. They just know how to they're camera operators. They have to know how to shoot, focal lengths, frame rates, movements. They have to know that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have to know editing though. They don't know color grading. He's not going to do any of that.
Right.
Right. So he drops the footage to me. I do the same thing if I'm not going to edit it. I do the same thing with a briefing for an editor. I'll tell them, hey, this is last year's. This is kind of the idea I'm going for. The sound, the music, the feeling. Here's the shots. He shot this way. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm saying all that because I don't want to make it seem like I'm putting someone on a job that I don't even have oversight on.
Yeah, or buy-in. I mean, you're still very involved.
If not more than half involved.
Yeah.
Like, I still am the creative mind behind
Right.
it. I'm still greenlighting stuff for him. I'm briefing him on everything.
Yes.
Right.
And you're, of course, approving it and finessing it before the client ever sees it.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who sends it to the client.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's awesome. And you're right. Like, that is, if you want to scale a business, you have to get out of your own way as
huge,
knowing or believing you're the only one that can do any of this. 100%. You'll never grow. And that is a hard thing, I think, for people to transition from growing in a role or growing their career versus growing a business. Like, if you yourself are what it takes to grow, you're never going to be able to grow the business. Like, if you can't delegate and put on repeat what you've done and help backfill certain roles, then yeah, I mean, you'd have a cap, you have a ceiling.
Can you believe we have world-class ballet happening right here in Chattanooga? At Chattanooga Ballet, you'll experience breathtaking performances, incredible artistry, and a mission that's all about serving our community through the power of dance. Mark your calendar for the Releve Soiree, an unforgettable evening of live performance, celebration, and giving back, Or bring the whole family to Ballet in the Park, a free afternoon of performances, hands-on activities, and fun for all ages. Learn more, grab your tickets, and discover what's next at chaballet.org. That's CHA ballet.org.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's one thing have had to deal with, or I'm currently dealing with, will always deal with, is that, you know, the biggest thing holding your business back is you, right?
Yeah.
Is like, what
So
do you have
true.
to do? And it's like, not from an ego standpoint, but I don't have anyone that's told me how to do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of learning as I go,
Yeah.
which I think has pros and cons. You know, you have a lot of learning curves, but
Yeah.
you also have a lot of learning curves and you learn a lot.
And I think what I've seen from you that what makes that work is that you're really humble about it.
Yeah.
You're not a know-it-all. You don't, you take constructive criticism well. You're honest and open and, vulnerable in that.
Yeah.
And, you're very professional and you have your stuff together. But yeah, you can admit fault or you can, you can take feedback and
humility.
Yeah.
I love being able to talk to someone and say, tell me like I'm 5.
Ooh, that's
like,
a good one.
You know what I mean? Like, explain it to me like I don't know a thing.
Yeah.
Or like, because I want to know. I don't want to just know your skill. I don't want to just know where you're coming from. I also want to know how you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know how you process it,
Yeah.
right? Like, so you get all this data from everyone and you put it together yourself, come up with your own ideas, right? So yeah, having humility is huge as a business owner that's new or an entrepreneur, is like, learn from others, right?
Yeah.
Learn from others, whether they're more successful or less successful than you.
Yeah.
Any sort of input from someone that could aid in your life, right? Any sort of input is good input, whether
Yeah.
they're more well off, less educated, more educated, it's data.
Totally.
So
Yeah. I love that.
yeah.
Okay. What's a dream project or a dream client right now that you want to speak into existence?
Car manufacturer. I'd love to make a commercial, a very creative commercial for a car manufacturer. I had a
Which
vision.
one?
I had a vision to do, and it's been made, but I think I could do it in a more tasteful way. Is like tribute, like old Mustang versus new Mustang.
Ooh.
Something similar like that.
That's
New
cool.
Camaro versus old Camaro, and the idea is, a dad is driving the new Camaro, the kid's driving the old Camaro,
Sweet.
and there's a touching point in the end where there's like pictures of them. So it's like, showing, it's like, for instance, showing like, it opens with a young kid, maybe with a pretty girl in the seat, and he's
Yeah.
driving an old muscle car, and he's driving and he's ripping it. It's great. And then he pulls up to the house or something, and it's a newer Camaro, and like an older guy's getting into it. It's his
Yeah.
dad, and it's like they're both the same cars, but
Oh,
it's a
wow.
generational thing.
Yeah.
And it shows like pictures of the dad and the kid with the older car. It was the
Sweet.
dad's car,
Yeah. That's
right?
sweet.
And so he has a newer one.
Yes.
So it's a little flopped, like juxtaposed.
that.
And so it's always I love, from a storytelling perspective, I love those ending moments where it's like a aha.
And the heartstrings.
For
Never
sure,
hurts. Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Okay, Cameron. Well, final question. I want you to fill in the blank. The heart of 618 Productions is.
The heart of Snake Productions. The clients, subjects, the people of the people that I shoot. I mean, without the subjects, you wouldn't have the story.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love it. Keep killing it. Can't wait to see you grow.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.